Did you know that even though it's the most spoken language in the United States, English is not the official language of this country? And not only that, but Spanish is the second most spoken language and has a historical presence that predates English. In many of its states, which many people don't even know, it also doesn't have official status at the federal level. This surprising reality has historical and cultural roots that invite us to explore how the linguistic identity of such a diverse nation was shaped, and that to this day is considered a world power. Unlike many countries where the official language is clearly established in the Constitution or in federal laws, the United States lacks an official language at the national level. According to data from the online language teaching platform Babel, collected in 2018, the 6 most spoken languages in the United States are summarized below. First of all, as expected, is English, with more than 231 million native speakers. The second place is held by Spanish, with just over 57 million people who speak it as their native language. It is followed in third place by Chinese, including Cantonese, Mandarin, and other variations. With around 2.9 million speakers, next is French and French Creole, also including Patois and Cajun French, with 2 million native French speakers. In fifth place is Tagalog, with 1.6 million speakers. And in sixth place is Vietnamese, represented by around 1.4 million people who speak it as their first language. An official language of a country is one that is used in official documents, national laws, and government acts. Although English is the majority language considered de facto, the absence of an official language at the federal level dates back to the founding of the country. Dr. Wayne Wright, professor of language and literacy at Purdue University, explained in an interview with cable news networks, regarding the official language of the United States, the Founding Fathers did not see the need to declare one. English was almost the dominant language at that time, so it really wasn't necessary to protect it. And didn't they want to avoid offending their fellow American citizens who helped fight for independence? Although perhaps deep down this decision reflected an implicit desire for inclusion and recognition of the linguistic diversity of all the settlers. On the other hand, from a constitutional point of view, it should be clarified that there is no place in the entire United States Constitution where it says that English or any other specific language is the official language of the United States. However, at the state level, the situation is different. More than 30 of the 50 states have made English their official language. This means that in these states, English is the language used in government procedures and official documents, as well as being the vernacular language in primary, secondary, and university education. But what about Spanish? The state of New Mexico is a particular case. Although it does not officially declare Spanish as an official language, its constitution recognizes the use of both English and Spanish in governmental matters. This is due to the state's rich Hispanic heritage and its significant Spanish-speaking population. Additionally, Puerto Rico, an unincorporated territory of the United States, has both Spanish and English as official languages, with Spanish being the most commonly used in daily life. On the other hand, in states like Texas or Florida, Spanish is spoken by a large percentage of the population. This gives it a privileged status. Although it is not an official language, it is present in use and signage in public spaces. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you'll know when there's a new video. The lack of official state recognition of a language is not a characteristic exclusive to the United States. And in the English-speaking world, it can also be observed, although you might be surprised in other countries, such as Australia and the United Kingdom itself, or even in Argentina, to give another example of a Spanish-speaking country. The history of the United States, although many may not see it that way, is intrinsically linked to that of Spain. To understand why English and Spanish are the two most spoken languages in this North American country, we need to take a look at history. Starting in the 16th century, Spanish explorers established settlements in what is now the state of Florida, California, Oregon, Texas, New Mexico, and a large part of the American Southwest. For decades, Spanish was the imposed language in these regions. For this reason, cities like San Antonio, Santa Fe, San Francisco, Los Angeles, among many others, have Spanish names and preserve a rich Hispanic cultural heritage. Over time, the British colonies on the East Coast began to expand westward, coming into conflict with the Spanish territories. Through wars and treaties such as the Treaty of Paris of 1763, the British acquired large portions of Spanish territory. However, the Spanish presence had already left an indelible mark, reflected mainly in the place names, the architecture, and of course, in the local language of these regions. At the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th, the United States experienced an unprecedented wave of immigration, coming mainly from Europe and Asia. Millions of people arrived in search of new opportunities, bringing with them their languages and cultures. This massive migration further enriched the linguistic diversity of the country, but it also generated tensions and debates about integration and national identity. However, the consolidation of the states annexed to the Union, which had been entirely shaped by an English-speaking administration, made the dominant identity mark based on the English language, a trait that remains unquestioned to this day. But the space occupied by the Spanish language is not insignificant, since today it is not only the second most spoken language in the country, but it has also gained greater political, economic, and social weight. The growing Hispanic population has influenced American popular culture, politics, and the media. Hispanic communities have made significant progress in defending their linguistic and cultural rights. And Spanish has become a language of business and education in many parts of the country. Although most native English speakers don't speak Spanish, they know it's there coexisting with them, especially in cities like Miami, New York, and Los Angeles. In conclusion, the reason why a country as multicultural as the United States hasn't declared any specific official language, it seems to stem from the principle of cultural and linguistic freedom that has characterized this country since its founding, after gaining independence from England. But this doesn't represent any obstacle to the free spread of any language. And even though English is the most widely used language today, it hasn't prevented Spanish from having a significant presence throughout the country. And just out of curiosity, have you ever wondered what the official language is in your country? You might be really surprised when you find out the answer, and if that's the case, I invite you to leave it in the comment box. And that's all for today. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to this channel. I invite you to also turn on the notification bell so you'll know when there's a new video. See you soon.